Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Weisheit, licensed clinical social worker, and I thank you for joining me. However you may be joining me, this is going to be one of those times where it's just you and I. And quite frankly, I just want to sit down and spend a little bit of time talking with you, and hopefully you're listening a little bit to what we're really seeing. This Delta variant that we're dealing with, you keep hearing lots of professionals. I'm really happy that HTV and Martin Falls has been bringing to you lots of health professionals telling us what they're seeing, telling us what they're dealing with. But you know, it's one of those things where the numbers matter, and a lot of times the numbers make a difference. But the question is, when does that hit home? And I got to tell you, I think those numbers hit home is when they hit close to you. So I want to share with you where we are. So the Louisiana COVID numbers as of today on 8/19/2021, the statewide new cases, we're talking about 5,550 new cases. That's a lot of people. A lot of people are getting tested. We've been told that about 1 out of every 5 that's getting tested is positive, that 19% or so at different places in the state. So a lot of people are being tested, and we have that positivity rate of just under 20%. So 5,550 new cases means a lot more people are being tested. In addition, we have statewide hospitalizations right now of 3,013. 3,013 people that are in the hospital right now that have COVID. The statewide COVID patients that are on ventilators is 476. 476 is a large number of people to be on ventilators, and a large percentage. So of the 3,000 hospitalized patients, 476 of those are on ventilators. And of the statewide new deaths, we have 58. 58 more people have died from COVID. And that's a number that's pretty alarming. But a little bit more alarming is the numbers right below that. Those who are not vaccinated, and again, we get these updates week by week. So from 8/5 to 8/11, 89% of the cases are not vaccinated. 80% of those deaths and 91% of the hospitalizations. We keep being told that these numbers represent about 91% of the people that are in the hospital. And what we're being told is that the people that have been vaccinated are typically less sick, and the impact of the disease is less impactful, and less number of those people are dying. That goes very consistently with these statistics. Now, talking about some of the numbers that are a little bit closer to home, in Terrebonne Parish, we have 230 new cases, and we have 2 new deaths. Now, yesterday, we had about the same number. In Lafourche Parish, we have 156 new cases, and we have 1 new death. And now looking at Region 3, which is the region that several of our neighboring parishes are in, 193, which is down 6 from Wednesday. Really good news that less people are in the hospital. However, we have 24 people in Region 3 that are still on a ventilator. And so those are the numbers as it relates to what's happening, to the number of people that are dealing with COVID and the number of people that are being impacted by that. And the question I asked earlier when we started the program is, when does it hit home for you? Well, a couple of things happened for me. It hit home for me when I had COVID back in December. But it really hit home for me when a family member of mine passed away this week. And a wonderful sentiment was sent out of what that person may be thinking or feeling. And so for the people that have lost someone, I wanted to share just a thought with you about maybe what's happening with them. And I share this quote with you. It says, "When tomorrow starts without me, please try to understand that an angel came and called my name and took me by the hand. The angel said my place was ready in heaven up above, and that I'd have to leave behind all of those I dearly loved. But when I walked through heaven's gates, I felt so much at home, for God looked down, smiled at me, and said, 'Welcome home.' So when tomorrow starts without me, don't think we're far apart, for every time you think of me, I'm right there in your heart." Just a thought about what may be happening for those people who are losing others to COVID. And now we want to share with you some other news that's happening, some cancellations because of COVID, some updates we want to share with you over at the Art After Dark, and that was postponed. It was scheduled to take place on Saturday, September 18th. We're not saying that it is going to be completely canceled, but right now they are postponing that, and that's from the Terrebonne Fine Arts Guild, again, canceling Art After Dark. Another cancellation that we need to tell you about is that the Louisiana Shrimp and Petroleum Festival, which normally takes place on Labor Day weekend, they have decided, those board of directors have decided to, after deliberation of benefits and risks, they've decided that the 86th festival celebration and the festival board has decided to cancel the event this year. The decision was not made lightly, and it was made after multiple considerations and conversations with Louisiana Department of Health, local physicians, regional hospitals, and the community. They will let us know if, in fact, something may change with that down the road. But right now, Louisiana Shrimp and Petroleum Festival for our Labor Day weekend is canceled. In good news, we will be able to have the Jamboree. So the Terrebonne General Health System High School Football Jamboree, set to take place and presented by HTV, will be Central Lafourche High School versus South Terrebonne High School at 6 p.m. And that will be followed by Thibodaux High School playing Ellender Memorial High School at 8 p.m. That will take place on Friday, August 27th, 2021 at South Terrebonne Memorial Stadium. The host is Ellender Memorial. All right, that will do it for this edition of Bayou Time. Don't go anywhere. Lots of local programming to follow.